Welcome everyone to Central Byte. Today I am covering some of Escredit's most ridiculous customer interactions as a service worker. Without further ado, let's get into it. Service workers of Reddit. What was the most ridiculous customer you've ever interacted with? Story 1. When I worked in a job that made us collect 90% of customers' emails at the cash register, and one customer threw a tantrum and called me a data hound, and then my manager took his side. I wasn't happy in the job in the first place, and I still remember that interaction 7 years later. I had to go take a walk outside BC, I was so mad. Story 2. I worked at a tobacco store for a season as a young adult. We had a bin of those super cheap, barely fit for-purpose clear lighters right at the checkout. One night, near closing, a notable big fish small pond figure in our town shows up drunk with some floozy hanging off his arm. I don't remember everything he bought, but he picked up one of those lighters with his order and left. A few minutes later, he comes stumbling back in, absolutely awash in righteous indignation that I'd sold him a defective lighter for 25 cents. He slams it on the counter and demands a refund of his father's hard-earned money, and I ask why. He mouth drools something along the lines of "it doesn't work," picks it back up, and proceeds to unsuccessfully try to light it. I pick it up, light it 3 times. The first time each try, it works fine, which honestly is odd given how cheap they are. This wrecked his world. He had a full-on 3-year-old meltdown in front of his girl when I said I wasn't going to charge back a product that clearly isn't defective, just because he was literally too drunk to light a cigarette. The next 2 weeks, he kept coming back, angry as hell at his treatment, and the whole town was laughing at him. Story 3. Back in college, I worked in a helpline at our academic computing center. We were called user consulting and did in-person as well as over-the-phone stuff. But we only supported the systems at that center. Different departments had systems of their own, like engineering, computer science, teaching, physics, and so on. We had no access to their systems and had no training on anything they did. We just give out the phone number to use if someone asked about something from those places. One day, I got a call from a guy who said he'd just gotten this software on a floppy disk, and he wanted to install it and didn't know how. I asked what the software was, and it was something from the teaching college, and they had their own support line. So I told him that. Well, it says on the disk to put it in the drive and type A. Set up in DOS, he says. Well, that would probably work, I wouldn't know, I said. He got to a question of where to install the software. I don't know, I told him. We don't support that software. You should call the teaching college's helpline. Well, it has a default, so I'll just take that. He said, that will probably work. I said, screen after screen of options. And he was always asking me what to select. Every time I would tell him, I don't know. This isn't our software. We don't support it. My fellow user consultant was giving me strange looks. It finally got to something where he had to provide something, and no default value was there. That's when he finally listened when I told him we didn't support that software, and to take the number for the teaching college support people. Well, there you have it. 3 of Reddit's service workers' most ridiculous customers. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing and liking the video. This has been Central Byte, and I'll see you next time.